Good morning, traders. It's great to be back with you guys. And today's one of those days where I have myself a big learning lesson. Like always, traders, there's some positives, there's some negatives in trading. And the biggest, most important thing I think is learning from mistakes. Today, I made a mistake. We'll talk a little bit about it here and see if I can work my way out of this hole this morning. Let's get to the action. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's get it started. What's going on out there, traders? Let's get the day started. And first, let's talk a little bit about, and got to call it a mistake here, guys, because I did get an ad this morning on a little bit of a trade that is a little frustrating to me. All right, guys. So here it is, guys. I'm long SNGX this morning. I have 899. We're down below 8. We just hit down towards the 780s. I'm down big to start the day here, guys. Down about 230s here. And of course, you guys know I've been trying to keep my kind of losses between that kind of 150 to 200 range, sometimes 100. Depending on my share size, right? So this is definitely above my loss here. And majority of the times, I just come in and just cut it here. This is one that kind of at 8 a.m., I did get kind of like a nice little off exchange. Got hit there at another ad there at 870. It really wasn't one I was expecting to get hit there. Kind of stepped away for a second there, came back, saw it get hit, was waiting, looking. Nothing is bouncing on this stock right now. So yeah, down through this low, I got to go, guys. Right now, I'm looking to see if we get any type of bounce back up there through the 8s, towards the 850s and the 9s, so I could take majority of this off and the exposure off. But we'll see what happens. I could add to this, but that's just increasing the exposure here and asking to have a max loss type of day. And I'm not trying to start the day like that. That definitely would not be the way to start the day. So let's see what happens here. If it starts to really cut through this, I just got to get out, take the hit like a man, and keep going, man. You never know, right? Here it is, guys. There's the attempt to break down through the lows. We'll see what happens here. Let's see if it does cut me out. Of course, through this kind of low and especially closing below it, I just got to get out here. The spread is going below it, but I'm going to look to see if we actually close below it, the 780s. And if it does, I'm out, man. I'll just take the hit and get out here. And that's just how it goes, right? You're never going to get them all. And this is definitely one of those days where it's going to be a little bit of a learning lesson. One thing's for certain, though. Showing you guys it, right? I could easily hide behind this and maybe just cut the position, do some kind of tricks here. But the truth is, I want you guys to be able to see that we're all not perfect. Even me, even myself, right? Money Mitch is going to make mistakes. Let's see what happens today, guys. SNGX. All right, guys, let's go to the playbook action and let's go take a look around to see what else you guys maybe be looking at today. I know I'm going to take it a little bit easy, but the truth is I could bounce back and that I know, right? So I just got to keep it kind of focused right now, see what happens here, see what the next move goes on. If not, just getting out and just going to keep battling. Let's go to the playbook here. First one up, guys, is going to be Airbnb. All right, guys, I am seeing that cut down right now. Just a second here. I'm going to go ahead and I'll let you guys know as I cut out of this. I'm just going to set the stop right now and then just stop watching it because the truth is it's just going to take up my mental capital while I'm trying to speak to you guys right now. And that I cannot do. All right, so there, I'm going to go ahead and set it up here in a second. Just to stop out. Boom. That's set there. It's probably going to give me a little stop hunted as I set it up. But hey, that's all right. At this point, I need to get out of the name. And if it's not bouncing, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to completely let it destroy my account. Let's get back to the action. Airbnb is one that I'm looking at potentially for the long today as it looks to maybe fill the gap. So a lot of the times I look to see if we can maybe fill gaps This is a nice little setup, right? We can see if we can get back into the action, kind of fill that gap. The gap is towards 155.84. So that's one thing I'll definitely note is that 155.84 could be the fill. It's at 152.80s right now. So I'm going to take a look to see if we're going to get that fill starting to work its way back into this spot. Been watching this for a while, created it even on June 18th to look to see if it would start working our way back. And that was back here when the stock was in the 147s. It's tried to get there a couple of times. Now it's starting to get a couple of highs, has a little daily trend line that it can go through and then start making its way higher. So it'll move back into the 155s. 156 looks good here for Airbnb. We'll see what happens on that long setup. All right, let's keep going. Next one up, AG. AG here, First Majestic, looking into silver. Instead of I love gold, why not I love silver today, guys? So take a look at this setup. It's actually interesting, especially on the daily setup. As you get a little bit closer, you can see how there's been trend line approaches back towards this kind of $8 spot. So what I'm looking at is maybe a potential run up here towards the 730s. That could be a potential run of where? That's like about 18% higher. So there is still room for this to kind of make the move. You can see the hourly has come back a couple of times recently. It just started to move back through the 622s, pushed up there, got to a high of 664. So it's kind of hanging out in between this. Now I'm looking for this to kind of break through the 660, start working its way to 7. It's not a bad area to kind of keep watch. And gold overall won't be a bad watch either. But today I'm putting out silver as definitely the watch. And if I could take a look here at my equally weighted silver outlook, you can see it's very similar to that AG chart. So they're going to trade very similar there. We'll see what happens on silver. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to Zap. All right, so Zap here, not looking that good this morning. It's back down to the 1349s, but this is actually one that I'm putting out for a potential short. So the big thing with Zap is that it's made a huge, huge run, guys. This stock has soared over 2,600%. So that just tells me more and more that, yeah, we're getting to the top where this could be at the extreme, right? If we take a look, the average true range is about $2 right now. So that might be what you have to risk to maybe take a shot on a stock like this. And if I look at the RSI, we're definitely getting towards extremes. This stock has been at extremes before. It's gone all the way up to RSI 100. But just recently on the last peak, it was up there to 97. We're up there past the kind of the 85, 90 spot here, 93 on that recent day yesterday. So at this point, now we start to kind of pull back. I could look for that kind of one more drive. It has 1, 2, 3. That fourth drive is where we started seeing the fail. A lot of times we'll get an attempt back up towards that high that doesn't even come near that. So that's what I'll be watching, like an attempt to come to like 16 and then failing today. That's what I'll be looking for in Zap. If it could come up to that 16, then fail, I'll be looking to potentially short Zap. And this one could actually be a swing trade also, not necessarily only a day trade, right? Because the big thing for me is that this stock could come back, not just back down towards 10. This could easily be back down to like $4. I have no idea why Zap is up. If I look at the fundamentals, it's not because of that. And I mean, we looked it up. It was what, a electric scooter company, essentially. I don't see it have any business being up here, but that's something just to mention. So we'll keep an eye out to see what happens here. Definitely Zap pulling back. We'll look to see if we get a short opportunity on this one. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. See what else we're making moves on the day today. Definitely going to keep watch on some bigger movers that have been moving as of late. Cost is one of those that has been moving as of late. Maybe it gets another run today. We'll see what happens on this one. Nice hourly candles. Nice kind of, you're starting to slow down. You did peak above the hourly levels here. So if this breaks, that's where I'd be looking for continued downside. But 950 seems like support right now for costs. We'll see if this starts to work back. Another one, ANVS, right? That's going to be on the radar. We'll see what happens with this one. has been getting up there, big moves, but every time this one has gone up in the past, it has failed, and now it's hit a trend line on the daily, which I think it's going to have really big trouble to try to get above that, right? So you could get a click to that today, 1550, and then the takedown, or it could just hold yesterday's low there, 1735 or 1775, kind of reject that move back into the 14s and really start coming back to the 9 EMA. 11s could be a target for the short side of this. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, let's keep going, guys. We're going to go to the next area, of course, where we get into, of course, we go into our sunrise report. And we got to get to the sunrise report. Like always, guys, smash the like out there. We're going to keep going. Let me go ahead and get this set up here. Just want to go ahead and kind of get it up. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I just need to fix this right quick. Should show up already. I think this is what's going on here. Let me just fix this right quick, guys. 2 seconds here. Just trying to fix something up here. All right, guys, let's keep going. We're going to go into the sunrise report just in a second here. Let's go ahead. Let's see what we can do here. Actually, it does not seem to be wanting to work for me right now. There we go. All right, fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. I had to fix it, guys. It was a little upsetting me. All right, good morning, guys. Let's get into the sunrise report. Of course, before we get into the action, we got to talk about what's going on in the market. It's big on Fed speak, right? Big moves in tech and some interesting analyst calls this morning. So grab your coffee. Let's get it started. Jerome Powell definitely took center stage yesterday in the Senate Banking Committee, and boy, did he have some things to say. Here's the money quote: reducing policy restraint too late or too little can unduly weaken the economic activity and employment. In plain English, the Fed is walking on a tightrope. They're worried about easing up on interest rates too slowly and potentially hurting the economy. And this is definitely important as it gives us peek into the Fed's thinking, right? That what could shake up the market expectations. A lot of people are thinking they're going to cut interest rates. I am against that thinking, and I don't see them cutting interest rates. So that's just something definitely to kind of note. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the movers and the shakers today. Let's go to the action. First one up is TSM. So TSM, of course, isn't doing too bad at all here, guys. We'll see what happens with TSM. TSM is riding high. Their June 2024 revenue report is out, and it's a beauty, up 32.9% year over year. For chip enthusiasts to kind of take a look into this, and I've talked about this, that a lot of people aren't thinking about TSM kind of like an NVIDIA here, and the truth is, it is like an NVIDIA right now. It's doing really well. We'll continue to see if this can continue riding high. 200 in play for this, and NVIDIA looking like potentially a new high could come into play. So if that's going to happen, well, continue to look for kind of these semiconductors to keep riding high. AMD, can that one keep going? I know I sold it, but that doesn't mean that it can't get to 200 and continue just grinding higher. Another stock having trouble today, it's Volkswagen. So I'll show you guys Tesla right here because, we're not going to be trading Volkswagen, but they are having a tough day. They're considering shutting down a plant due to weak EV demand. Looks like the electric dream might need a jump start here. So definitely taking a look into that. This is something that I'll be watching today to see if it turns around Tesla. Right? Because the truth is mentions like this is the scary part in the market. If EV markets are struggling, Tesla's going to struggle. I think Tesla has been making the move not based on what's going on in their EV sales. This is more what happened with Elon, new package. And then, of course, we've talked about it here in the past, robotics focus, as a lot of people are looking to see what happens in the robotics game, right? Will Tesla kind of get that going? And of course, they have their date. We've been showing it here plenty of times here, but I'll show you guys it again, right? August 8th is the launch of the Robo Taxi. This is the biggest driver that could happen to Tesla because it shows that they have control and autonomy. And if they can get control and autonomous vehicles, really kind of take the lead in that action, that is a big game changer for Tesla. That's why you'll hear people say that Tesla's not an EV or an electric vehicle maker, that it's a technology company. Moments like this can be drastic changing for a company. Now the only question is, how good will the event go and how much can we ride up before the event? So this is a buy the rumor type of move, and it could keep running until the event. And then you could also have a sell the news event just because it's run so much, right? Because there's so much high expectations and so much that is now starting to actually play into the price, right? The expectations at 262 aren't the same when the stock is at 180. So we'll see what happens here on Tesla. Smash the like if you guys enjoy getting this action. And I see you guys out there. I'll take a second right now to give you guys some love. It's good to see Noli out there, FJF, Bullseye out there, guys. So definitely good morning out there, Noli. We'll take a look at the list. Eric, what's up out there, man? Wilker, it's good to see you in the chat, man. Love to see some new faces. Of course, Day Trade Tony in the house nice and early. Love to see it. NVIDIA going strong again. Thoughts on it continuing up. And yeah, there's no reason why NVIDIA doesn't need to make a new high, right? And a lot of traders and money managers are still looking at NVIDIA. With this being said, Apple's just been grinding higher, right? I'm looking to see if Google gets to 200. That's at 191 and continuing higher. Amazon tried to get to 200 multiple times. So this is now at the point where, yeah, there's either selling going on at this 200 or they're just going to blow through it. So all these names are in play. The big boys, if they can stay hot, man, the Qs can stay hot. There's no reason why NVIDIA needs to kind of slow down here. So we'll see what happens. Another mention is around this time, you get a lot of retirement money to come in. Did the retirement money go into NVIDIA thinking that NVIDIA could just keep running? A lot of analysts are still saying that. Some analysts are putting out things like NVIDIA could be at 300 by the end of the year. I mean, I'm not saying that, but the truth is there's no reason why I can't get to new highs. Khalid, what's up out there, man? When's a new competition? Stay up out there. We'll be letting you guys know a little bit more about that as it comes. Longevron was the best trade. We'll take a look at that. Nice profit. Enjoy it and keep it, man. Hey, take it, Bullseye. Take it, man. Level set, waiting for the open. Eric, what's your top trade? Let me know. And it's all good, Bullseye. Paper's paper. Keep trading well on paper, man. And then what you can do is, what I always say is, once you go to the real kind of trading, just take it slower. That's the hardest thing. So they go big on paper, and then when they go into the real money, they're going like half that size or a quarter of that size. They usually don't even have that money to be trading with. And so make sure that what you're trading on paper is the same account that you're going to trade in your real account, right? This is a very important distinguishing fact that I think you need to look into, Bullseye. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going with the Sunrise Report. Next one up is Microsoft here. Let's keep going with Microsoft as it's adjusting its seat to OpenAI as its regulatories, of course, getting eyes. So they gave up their seat in OpenAI, which is something to note because, of course, there was that battle with Sam Altman and all that action. This just goes to show me that they're worried about kind of regulatory coming in AI, and it's going to happen at some point. And I think that that's when the AI party maybe could come to an end, when you get, of course, some regulatory issues to come into play. But we'll see what happens today, guys, if Microsoft can kind of push and continue pushing to new highs. At this point, I think you just kind of watch this light blue line to see that continue to hold. 9 EMA has been holding really well on Microsoft. So at this point, I'll just look for that to keep holding. What's up out there, Becca? It's good to see you. I love to see some faces out there, some of the great names that I know. Becca, always on some good smaller names. Becca, if you got a good one, let me know. I'm always going to be looking for you in the chat. It's good to see you out there. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next conversation. We're going to go into AEHR. AEHR, big move up today, guys. This one's actually pushing strong this morning. You guys can continue to see what happens with this one. $15 stock and making moves, guys. So we'll see what happens on this one. Let me pull down the volume here so you guys can see it a little bit better. And so here, test system here is in the dark horse today, up a whopping 14% in the pre-market. They smashed their Q4 and fiscal year 24 guidance. It's really not too shabby here. The guidance looking really good. We'll see if this can continue pushing towards the next year. The guidance for the fiscal year was good. earnings up. Now, can it take the next layer? 15 is going to be the spot, right? So 15, you guys can clearly see that on the after hours kind of high. Now we're trying to get there. We're right at the 1480s. Can this take the next stop? We'll see what happens. Get through 15, and then maybe we can start seeing this get going. We'll see what happens there, guys. Keep pushing out there, team. We'll see what we can get into. Right now, I am moving up my stop in SNGX. It's back above 8 here, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and risk closer towards the 780s, then back down towards like 760s. It doesn't give me too much of a difference here. Could pull it up there towards the 8, but I'm just trying to see if I can get this to start driving close back into my entry. And if I could do that, I can cut majority of it out and definitely take off the risk. So it's essentially managing my position right now in SNGX, which doesn't look bueno. Let's just say that much. Let's keep going. We got one from Becca here. I'll take a look at that, and then we'll get into our analyst action this morning, where the analysts are looking. But GXAI. There we go. Love it, Becca. Great name mentioned here, an AI name mentioned. Of course, you guys see it here. It loves to do these pops and drops, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is where's the next layer. So we can see that we pushed up above this trend line and then now have pulled back below it. So can we recover $4 is going to be vital. You can see $4 is right around the VWAP. This morning, getting up there pretty significant. I mean, it was after hours. It got all the way up there towards 556. So there's definitely this on the radar. What I'd be watching for is the pullbacks, right? When do we get enough pullback action? So we got this first kind of layer of pullback, right? We got this second layer of pullback. We got a third layer of pullback, right? So at this point, I'm looking to test down close towards this and start to hold. So at the 308 to 310 spot, that's going to be the area where I'll look to see if we get some buyers to step up here and see this GXAI turn around. Back up through the 3050 is also kind of like just breakout levels that where you can start to see maybe some push and drive, and maybe we don't even get the move in here because it could just be a quick wick to like 317, 315 and back up through the 350. But not a bad one to watch here on GXAI. Where do I get the sunrise report? Well, you guys can check that out. It's on our Discord daily, guys. That I definitely know, guys. You guys can check that out. I'll show you guys it, right? There's nothing better than showing you guys it every morning. So today, where can you guys get it? Well, take a look into our Discord, right? I'll show you guys it right here. We put it up here on our trade watch list. You guys get it right here. The Fed, the economic focus, Jerome Powell, stocks moving today, analyst upgrades and downgrades, Carvana, we're going to talk about right now, TXG and Spotify on the list today. So you guys want to check these out. Definitely check out our trading room, of course. I can get you guys a nice little invite. You guys want to come on over. I'll get you guys an invite. We'll throw it up. We'll make sure that Tim throws it up for you guys, but definitely check it out, guys. Can you put it out on Twitter? I can't use Discord. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'll definitely let Gil know that you guys want it out on Twitter. We should be able to get it out on Twitter daily too. We'll probably make a little bit of a community for that. Let me know, guys. I'll be putting this out there for you guys. The idea is for you guys to be able to kind of find where the moves are, right? So today it looks like we gave you guys the upgrades and the downgrades on Twitter. I'll give you guys the link right here, but look forward to seeing more. And I'll put out the full kind of sunrise report so you guys can get after it. Click that link, hit the like button, let us know you want to see more. That's what it's really all about. The more that you guys give us feedback, the more we can give you guys. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's get after that action. I just threw it up in the link there. Looking forward to trading with Trade the Pool again. Hey, I love to see it bullseye. And like I said, man, if you want, hey, feel free, reach out to me, man. I'm more than willing to help you try to get to that success. I know it isn't easy, but if you could do it in especially the demo accounts there, you can do it and Trade the Pool, man. Just got to stay with kind of what you're doing and what's working for you. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's see what else is out there. We'll look at this GXAI. To tell you the truth, it's an actual interesting name for me today. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is in the market. Let's go to these upgrades and downgrades. We're going to go to Carvana here. And we've been looking at Carvana because it had this kind of gap down below to see if it wanted to go into it. And you can see it kept rejecting it. Right here, we even pointed towards this, created this on 618 as it started to work its way higher. And that was when the stock was right here. So we drew this trend line right here. We got this break of the trend line. Now we're starting to make that run and holding what? The pullback level, the 124.50. Makes sense now. Now you're back above towards 131. Got that nice expansion away. I could look for pullbacks towards like 128.50s around there. Makes sense for me. But right now it's up there to 132s. Good level here. Rating here is for a buy from Needham and an upgrade to 160 price target. So, hey, you guys know it. The used car market is still super expensive. Car prices have been coming down, but inflation still has driven these cars to new levels, and Carvana is all over it. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen their vending machines and their kind of dealerships all around. I have a dealership just down the street, so we'll see what else is out there. All right, Zappos looks good for a short today. My man Shane, that's exactly what I mentioned on the playbook this morning. Good to see it, man. Shane, that's what I love to see it. Can start trading at pre-market open at 4 a.m. Yeah, that's what I love to see it, man. How early? There you go. You can do it at 4 a.m., right when the market opens. I've actually sold my Intel position yesterday because it opened at 4 a.m., right above my level, 35, and I sold it, and it was a great sell on Intel. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's take a look. After this is Genomics, 10X Genomics, TXG. This one is getting a little bit of a bounce back today. We'll see what happens on this. This is a sell rating from Goldman Sachs. So they lowered their price target also to 16. It's right at 16. I mean, it took the hit off of this, but this is not looking good, guys. I think this is a Kathy Wood name too, TXG. So this could just completely go bankrupt at this point. I mean, this just doesn't look great at all. Could you go shorting a name like this? Yeah, you can. But the big thing is when it goes down, it's not a big move. So it's just a harder name to kind of short. But TXG isn't doing good. Goldman Sachs doesn't like it, and neither do I. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's go to Spotify. Last one on the ratings today. Let's see if this can turn things around. This is also a downgrade, but from Redburn Atlantic, not the biggest, more a boutique firm, right? So we'll see what happens with this one. This is a sell with a 230 on it. So 230 is ways away from here, guys. We're talking to move back down to here. One thing that I can say on this Spotify chart is that it definitely shows some topping action. Right? This recent move here is so important because what was it? It was a bullish engulfing look, looking like it wanted to break out above 323s, and now you're washing through the support. So at this point, I can look for bounces back to the 9 EMA to reject the 313. So I wouldn't be, all in on a short right out the gates today. But if we could get back here towards, let's say, back towards these levels, the 311s, the 313s, that looks like levels that I could maybe short off of that 323 and look to see if spot really starts to take a downturn. So that's Spotify there, guys, and that's going to give it a wrap here for the Sunrise Report. And remember that in this market, you got to be careful. Powell's words can move the market, and today he will be speaking again. Yesterday could be yesterday's laggard, could be today's leader. So stay sharp, guys. Stay curious, and most importantly, stay in tune. We'll keep up with you guys right here on Trade the Pool. Let's keep it going, team. What else can we find this morning? Let's take a look at some of the stocks that you guys are throwing up. They want spot cheaper. Yeah, they do want spot cheaper. Gonzalo wants the Discord server. I got you, man. I'll make sure that they throw it up here in the chat. Just give me a second here. I couldn't get the link here, but I will get someone to throw it in just 2 seconds. Let me just post it up right quick. All right, getting Tim to go ahead and take care of that. I sent him the message. I'm sure he'll throw it up in just a couple seconds here, guys. So they definitely want the Discord server. I hear you, man. I'll make sure that we get it in here so that you guys can jump in. And the fun part of that is that I want you guys to one thing is I go down, right? I can't be trading all day with you guys. At least I do wish it, but I'm not doing that right now. But one thing is certain. What we got to be looking at, guys, is when we're done trading, where do we go, right? Well, there's a lot of traders that continue trading all day. Go to the Discord, guys. There's a lot of people active there all day long. You can keep talking. You can go to that chat, keep it going. So check out the Discord, guys, and let's get back to the action. What is the stocks that you guys want to take a look at? Now's your opportunity. Throw up those stocks. We'll take some stock from you guys, and we'll keep pushing. Here's a nice little fresh one here. I got the link here. I'll give you guys it right now. Boom. There you guys have it. I threw up the link there, the Discord link, so definitely hit the like on that. Carvana on the list today. Oh, one here, Carnival. Carnival recently pulled back right to where it blasted off from the earnings, and this is exact kind of move that you can look for in a lot of names, right? When you get these stocks to have a blast off from earnings, look for it to come back where it came from, and then the next layer. Look how Carnival is up here, and look at the 2020 pricing. It's down here, right? I wanted to show you guys one because NCLH is the one that I kind of believe in the long run here, but they're closer to that pandemic low. And I could see this one really kind of making that move, right? And so at this point, it did pull back. It is really strong now. It gave you the chance back below the 18. It's back above the 18s. Of course, this could still chop around before it really makes the breakout. But this is one that I definitely keep on the radar. It makes sense for it to get back up in here, let's say towards the 21 and 22s based on the daily. So these are all in play there. RCL, of course, you guys can just keep looking for highs, all-time highs that keep breaking. Royal Caribbean just keeps kicking it. So it doesn't look bad at all. Let's get after it today, Eric. It was a little bit calmer yesterday. We'll see if it's calm like that today. But Longevron, let's take a look at that one. How's that one doing? Look at the breakout in that one this morning, guys, from around the 730 spot all the way up there to the 830s. Maybe I was watching the wrong one this morning, and I needed Bullseye to yell at me. It's all about Longevron this morning, man. What are you looking at? Well, there you guys see it. That's actually doing really well. Got all the way up there to $7. If we take a look at the daily, look at the breakout on this thing. This thing was down to like $3, now up there to $7. It's been up here before. One thing is for certain, it filled a gap here that's a little bit dangerous for the turnaround to come off of that. That's around the 650s, but let me see what the bottom is there. 650s, exactly. So I'd look to see if that 650 acts as resistance, but this one's going to be in play, of course. A lot of eyes watching it and a big breakout this morning. We'll see what else is out there, guys. Keep throwing up them stocks. Keep taking a look at different names. We'll definitely take a look at there. Trader Prad, what's up out there? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you back. Of course, Gonzalo, I got you, man. Jan, look at the weekly time frames when looking at Carnival. Love mentions like this because if you see something, point it out, team. And the weeklies do look a lot cleaner. Right now, what I would draw here is this line here doesn't make sense off the weekly. The weekly is telling me that it's more this approach, right? And trying to get back through the highs and reloading off the lows, right? So if I use this trend line here, I can tell that you didn't even come back to it. You're curling up there. You got all moving averages except the 200 above you. So the 9 EMA can hold here. Now really start kind of propping up. Carnival, not looking too bad. Let's go to the NCLH on too, just to kind of take a look on the weekly. And you can see the weeklies trying to prop. A lot of volume could have built down here at the 16. Now let's see if it makes a run there towards the 20s. And leisure is on the watch. Airbnb. All right. Airbnb was one that I just put out today on the playbook. Keep it on watch. We'll see what happens on leisure overall. Expedia. Okay, that's looking good there. Booking, that's looking good. Hilton is near all-time highs. Marriott, we'll see if this can make a little bit of a run. We'll see what happens. A lot of action out there today. And can we get a good move there? There's another link there for you guys for the Discord. Boogie Woogie coming through. You know it. Hit that like. Nice ascending triangle. We'll see what happens there on Jan if CCL can keep pushing towards the next layer. Shane bringing up one here. ALAR. For a short. Nice little software infrastructure name that's been kind of stuck in a channel and could start to work its way back. And this thing has been climbing since January. It's crazy to think that this stock was an $8 stock and now is a $40 stock. We're talking 422%. So it's an insane move here, and it is getting crushed this morning here. So, yep, this is already on the short outlook. I'm sure a lot of shorts are looking out there for this. Where could I look for a short on this? I would need this to come back here towards kind of the 43s, but I don't think it's going to do that. We'll see what happens if it just cuts through the 37. Any kind of bounce back here towards the 43s is the area that makes sense for me. Another thing to note is the spread on this one is pretty wide, but it could be just pre-market, but definitely doesn't look the best this morning. VVPR. VVPR was pretty hot this morning. It's now has turned around. And I remember when it was coming through this 550s, it looked like a short already. So this one could be done on the day. And the big reason for me and thinking that is that this stock already kind of did the 3 or 4 drives. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th drive fails. Now it's trying to do that kind of ABC move. It could go right back towards the highs there. But at this point in the pre-market, it made that look here where it was starting to break down, and I need to see it reclaim at least back up towards 5 for anything to look bullish on this one. We'll see what happens on that. ATNF. Let's take a look at that one ripping right now. There you guys see it. Another one making a move this morning up there to 333s. Can this one push past the 350s? It looks like it wants it. Daily chart has a move there that it went to 480s just recently. If I look to the left, let's take a look at where do we see major resistance. Major resistance at prior resistance over here around the 430s. You could run into this kind of support as resistance, but if anything, I'd be looking for pullbacks off of that to kind of hold right now. That's the 310. So you just kind of pushed above that. So let's see if 310s holds on this pullback, and then you get the next takeout towards 350. See what happens on that one. ATNF 180 Life Sciences, biotech here. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, definitely going to be something to watch out the gates there today if I get stopped out, but I more than likely will on this SNGX. Definitely a mistake for me this morning. If you guys are just joining in, I do have a position in this one. Got caught, right? I mean, now I'm caught, guys. Now I'm just kind of watching to see what happens towards the bell. Will it get a nice little pop back towards 10? It could happen, but definitely risk to return doesn't look the best for me now. And I'm caught in the middle, and I hate being caught in the middle. That's where pigs get slaughtered. So we'll see what happens, guys. What do I mean by stuck in the middle? So essentially my entry is right around here, and I'll put a line on it so you guys can see it. So this is my entry right now, my average at least. And when you're stuck in the middle, what I mean by stuck in the middle, right? Like literally it's the middle of this chart this morning. That usually never turns out well for me. As a bull, a lot of times I want to be long closer towards the bottom here, towards this 8, right? Risking off the lows, looking for it to come back to the highs. Shorts, I like to shorten to strength, short off of the pops, and then looking for it to kind of come back towards support. But as you guys can see, this is one that I'm caught right now. AEHR, nice gap, big holders can get out. Yeah, I think definitely. AEHR, some holders definitely will be looking to get out, but that could actually cause a little bit more pop in this, right? I've seen this stock go fast before. It's a semiconductor equipment and materials stock, so that could affect the space overall. So we're going to go into semiconductor equipment and materials. Take a look at some of the leaders, right? You got ASML, AMAT. You can look at LRCX. All these names could make a move off of this. So we'll keep watch to see how this industry does today. I always like to look at the industries because if we can kind of keep watch on the industry overall, if this is pointing towards the upside and you're getting some turn in some of the lower names like AEHR or a different name, like, you start to see just the momentum just start to come in a name. This ACLS seems to be holding really well. There's a lot of these names that are doing pretty good. So let's maybe look to see some other ones start to get going, like this KLIC. I don't know this chart, but I can tell that it's kind of holding in, getting some volume to now start coming in here and could start turning around back towards this 50, 60. This is the important thing, guys. Looking in, trying to find some different stocks, especially in industries that are doing well. All right, that GXAI, we're keeping a close eye on it, guys. Look how it just went into that area, that buy zone, right? That kind of that $3 spot here, low in the pre-market towards the 275. So that's kind of the risk right now. I don't mind this one, guys. I do want to take a trade off of a different one here. So I'm going to keep a watch on this one, especially towards the bell, GXAI. Can this one get going here? It doesn't look bad, right? I like the chart, just needs volume to come back in and get the pop back towards the 350 and 5. All right, we'll keep this one on the radar. What's up out there, Wisdom? How we doing? Good morning, folks. How we doing, future day trader? It's good to see you out there. Will Nike see COVID lows? Man, that is crazy if Nike could see COVID lows. Nike's struggling, man. It's down to 72.63 on. Remember, we were looking at that for shorts. That's actually come back yesterday. So today, this actually looks like another potential short. There's no reason why I think this stock is going to kill it out of the water with Nike's not doing good either. So today can look to see if this one wants to come right back down towards a low. It was at towards 36.05, and then Skechers that has popped back a little bit there off the 68. We'll look to see if that kind of keeps coming down. Deckers is another one that's kind of completely lost kind of the run that it was on and could keep breaking towards new layers. So this one went up there yesterday, was up there even towards the 980s. That's probably an off exchange order. But looking to see if this one starts to break the support right underneath it. You can see it right there, the 929s. It's barely holding on and could make a run down towards 900. All right, MasterCard breaking rally hard support there on the daily. Yeah, this is looking good here on MasterCard. This looks like news related. Let me go ahead and take a look here to see what news I got on this. It's 9:18, guys. Got to keep watching to see what happens here. But let me see what happened in MasterCard this morning. Looks like B of A Securities downgrading the stock to neutral and lowering the price target to 480s. So a downgrade there, definitely affecting this stock and getting a big hit there. Visa and MasterCard cut to neutral. So both of them cut to neutral. Visa also cut to neutral towards the 260s. So not looking good there in the credit services. This could turn around some names too. AXP is another one in the same spot, right? Was up near the top, 240. That could get turned around. PayPal, man, I don't like this name at all, man. It just doesn't look like it's turning around. Capital One holding in the pullback, but with mentions like this, you could see the downgrade come in and then also come towards the 130 on this. The 200 exponential, the 130 spot seems to stand out to me. We'll see what happens there. Logjevron, how's that one doing now? It's up towards 619s. Is that one continuing? It's trying. You can see the 1 minute trying to hold in here, trying to make the next step back towards 7. We'll see if that one gets going. NAAS, another one that's setting up there. There's a lot of setups this morning in the pre-market for these smaller cap names. And a lot of them trends like this where they're going down to the bottom, starting to reverse, starting to get a little bit of a pop. GXAI, another one that's very similar to that. So looking to see if this starts to get the pop. There's the turnaround towards the 310s. We'll see if this one gets going right out the gates. All right, a lot to take a look at, guys. Mara for me, as always, and I can't blame you on that, Eric. Sometimes it's good to just stick to the name, right? Mara has just been hanging out at this 19 ever since that cut down where it went above that 21. Now the question is, what happens with Bitcoin? I think that's just the question that I'd be asking myself. Because if Bitcoin can kind of cut down, that's when it keeps going. But Bitcoin back up above 60s, you got to be careful. But this morning, where did we top out? We topped out in Bitcoin towards 59.338. So that just tells me that you're going towards that break back towards 60 and rejecting it. So if they can keep it down below 60,000, that's where you see Bitcoin kind of struggle. And if it can start going back to 50,000, yeah, these could keep going lower. So a clean spark hanging on by a thread on that 15. It needs some kind of hold here Could just kind of keep chopping. This thing has been chopping around. If you take a look at the monthly, this is what I want to look at now. You can see how it's pulled back. You can see how it's set up there, and there's definitely support. Now the only question is support until it isn't. And then you're going to hear this often. It's a kind of terminology that they use, right? Support until it isn't, and then it really isn't, guys. It starts to break and it gives up really quickly. So we'll see at this $13, $14 level access support. And we get back through 20s. Doesn't look good. It looks like it could easily go back down to 10. So just keeping that in mind with Clean Spark and a bunch of different names, right? Hut yesterday finally goes down a little bit here. We'll see if this one can keep breaking down, but finally a red day yesterday. Will it keep coming down, or will it just Hut shake everything and just keep breaking towards the upside? Doesn't look too bad. All right, Peggy was another one that moved yesterday off that $2. 180 seemed to be a nice bottom yesterday that I could see in Peggy. And boy, oh boy, off this 180 spot, did it rip back up there towards the 230s. Later in the day, ripping up there to 250s, and after hours up to 278. Now starting to make kind of that cup and handle look. Just gave you that kind of push up. Now holding the 9 EMA is something that I'd look for. 243s, maybe even 241s to hold now. Make that move back here towards the high, the 264s. Doesn't look bad there. All right, guys, GXAI, definitely one of my top watch there. We'll see what happens in SNGX if it finally cuts me out. It's trying to turn a little bit there. Back through my layer, if it gets, let's say, even close to 9, I'll go ahead and I'll size down. And then at the open, that's when I can really start seeing the spread tighten up, and I can at least manage this. We'll see what happens there, team. It's going to be a hard one. VRPX just showed up on the scanners, guys. Another biotech breaking through 2 here. So a lot of these smaller cap names starting to get going. How's the IWM? A lot of times when I see small caps start to push, I look to see if the IWM wants to make a move also. This could be one way to hedge some trades, right? To see if this really wants to start making a move back towards 205 and 210. If I look at the weekly, you can see how this kind of just been kind of holding in. Now pulling back. Can it make a move back towards resistance and that 210? Doesn't seem too bad here. We'll see if the IWM can really get going. Break back through this, right? Back up there. That doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens on the IWM. All right, guys, it's about 9:23. We only got about 6 to 7 minutes left here. Do you pay attention to a ticker if it has a $1 offering / warrants to give you more conviction to go short? I mean, things like this will definitely give you conviction, right? I mean, offerings definitely ruin companies, right? I mean, that could definitely bring the downside action in. So like this NNE, I was shorting this yesterday, and I was able to still make a good trade on this, a good positive trade on it. But the reason why I was shorting it was the offering. The offering was set at 23, and we're up at 27. So in my eyes, there's no reason why I can't come back to that 23 spot first and then start to see this turn back to the upside. We'll see what happens on nano nuclear energy. But names like that, yeah, I'd understand, Bullseye, why you'd be looking at it. All right, guys, let's keep going. We'll see what else is moving in the market here. I can also add things on a watch list, guys. So moving forward, guys, and anybody out there, if you guys want me to put on some names on the watch list so that we can keep up with them, you guys can throw them up in the chat. I can maybe catch them and we can keep taking a look at them. We can add new names, right? We can kind of subtract some names. I know that you guys have been watching like Carvana this morning. That's on the radar. So let's go ahead and add Carvana. And we can always add some more names here and kind of keep pushing, kind of adding new list. And we could do a new list every day, right? So you guys keep throwing up those tickers. I do want to add those tickers here to kind of keep a watch on them, so we can just keep taking a look at them. Look, Chevron, definitely one. LGVN, let's maybe not mess that one up. LVGN, don't worry, I can't blame you, man. It happens to me all the time. But adding some names here, guys, so that we can kind of keep following them. SNGX, definitely one that we want to keep following today. What else do we want to keep following? We want to kind of follow that GXAI and other names, guys. You keep throwing up the tickers, guys. I'll make sure that they're on the watch list. We keep a watch on them. Microsoft, you want to watch, man? I got you. We'll keep watch on Microsoft. There's nothing wrong with that. And, I'll put it here on the top kind of change so that we keep watching these. I can also add some columns. It's very important to kind of understand this so that you can add some things and kind of go after it, right? Whatever you want to do, previous close, the highs and the lows you can add. You could add kind of the spread percentage and things like that. There's so much things that you guys can be getting after. Definitely go ahead and kind of check this out, guys. And you can color code it, right? So that it shows up right there and I can take a look at the charts. All right, we'll see what else is making a move today. SNGX now starting to come back a little bit here, guys. And this is when I can start to manage it, right? So I'm going to manage this, guys. SNGX, let's go and manage it now, guys, because it is coming back. Does it mean that it can get back to my entry? Yes, it can, but I got to watch right now. The next layer, the 865s. 865s is where I want to go ahead and start getting out a good portion of what I have right now. So let's go ahead. Let's try to get out half of this at that layer and then just keep trying to see if it comes back to my spot, but not being too picky here. So I'm just going to put out 860 here in a second here. It's 850. There's 862 on the offer. I'm putting out 860 here, 857. All right, there you guys have it there. It already got hit there, at least to manage it, bring it down, take a hit there, $48 versus kind of the 300 look that I had this morning, right? So now at this point, I can start tightening down stop limits and things like that. I got to cancel out the stop limit that I had put on. Let's see what happens here towards the bell, guys. We only got about what do you got? About 3 minutes, 2 minutes left here before the bell. So let's take a look here to see if this can get back through 9. If it does get back to that 9 spot, I can go ahead and kind of cut out a little bit more and then look for pullbacks, right? Because I'm just trying to manage this. At this point, it's not about the win. It's about managing. So 890, if this comes to 890, I'm going to sell another 60. Just trying to manage it, guys. Just trying to manage it. So I just put it out there, 890s. I don't mind taking out a little bit more and just keep pushing. All right, we'll see what else is out there, team. Keep trading, guys. Keep battling. Lucy, I'm home. I'll put it on Lucy here for you. We'll add it to the watch list, guys. Like always, guys, keep throwing up those lists. We'll keep throwing up those tickers on our watch list. We'll keep watch to see what's moving out there, whether gainers and losers. And we can always add more if we want here. All right, there's 878, $6. Buy that. So now I'm starting to get up there. That's Longevron there. Let's go to SNGX. Longevron trying to battle that 6 right now. All right, so the one thing we can do, just click on it here, get back to it. You can see 79.80s here on the offer. So not looking too bad off the 81s here. I'm going to go ahead and probably just cut there off the 80s. There you go. I just cut a little bit more, guys. You guys see it, $13 loss now, right? So $65 loss instead of a $300 loss. Yeah, I'll manage that. That doesn't look too bad. It was just one of those days where, I don't want to get too run over, right? So now I got 60 shares here. Going to look to see if it pops through the 9. Pullbacks back through that 850s. Got to be careful with that. But let's just see if I can get through the 9. And I can always re-add these share size, right? So if I want to, I can get out the complete size right here. We'll see what happens if I can get back through the 9. The next layer that I see, kind of the volume is right there at that 9 and then 908s, right? So here we go, guys. Here's the bell, guys. Let's see what happens. 9:30. Let's go, team. Smash the like. You guys know where you're at. It's time. Here, guys. Be careful out there, traders. We'll see what happens here. Taking a look to see if this can really kind of make the move. Just going to risk off of the 855s here. 2665s on the risk. If it comes back to 855s, let it stop me out and looking to see what happens there. But hey, that's just how it goes, guys. So let's get after it, team. If you guys see anything in the markets that are moving fast, let me know. The market's open, guys. There's a lot of action out there. Longevron definitely moving and shaking around. We'll take a look to see what else is making a move out there. I'm watching it, guys. Tesla coming down here out the gates here. That's one that I'll be keeping my close eye on. Also, out of that SNGX, guys, it came back towards that 850s. I'm out of it, guys. It could just come right back up there. But I'll tell you one thing. I need to get out of this, guys, and just manage it. 94 on the loss completely. It's a lot better than what I had, right? Could stay in the name, but I'd just be pushing it here. Now back through the trend line is an important level to look at for the 9 recovery. And then I can look at this a little bit later if it starts to get hot. Definitely one that is going to be watched, but I needed to get out there, guys. It was a little too dangerous for me this morning. Here's $9 approaching right back up there. We'll see if it starts to make the move. SNGX. All right, where's the other one that I wanted to look at? GXAI this morning, guys, right off that $3 spot. We'll look to see if this gets moving. And there's SNGX back towards 920s here now. So getting a little bit of a spike there. We'll look to see if it gets to $10. That's really where it gets hot. But definitely 920s starting to get a little bounce there. Longevron doesn't look too bad there. I'm going to switch the screen to the other screen where we have multiple names, and you guys can definitely let me know names you guys want to keep following along. I can go ahead and just kind of focus in on those so that you guys can watch them. On Longevron, I know definitely is going to be one of those. GXAI is one of the ones that I'm looking at also. So kind of can keep an eye on different names there. All right, so let me just change this up here. Let me do Longevron. There's SNGX. Now it's 930s, guys. So who knows? Maybe I cut it out a little too early. Maybe it comes right back up. We'll see what happens with that. 940s now coming up there on SNGX. So, hey, that's how it goes sometimes, team. Just trying to fix my screens here for some reason. There it is. 960s now, guys. That 980s almost hit right there, guys. So there you guys have it. Hey, maybe this was one that I just didn't play right towards the bell, but to tell you the truth, this is more about protection for me. Always capital preservation is more important than making the gains. I'll show you guys the screen right now with multiple trades out there, and you guys out there, let me know if you guys are seeing anything you guys want to take a look at. We'll go ahead and throw it up. Nice break, a pre-market high on VRPX. I can put that one up also. VRPX, Shane. Doesn't look too bad there. Nice little break there through the kind of the 240s up there to the 280s. We'll look to see what happens with that one. And you guys see Longevron and also SNGX here. I'll throw it up here so you guys can keep following some different names. Let me know if anything you guys want me to change it on these. I'll go to the 1 minute so you guys can keep up with the action. All right, there's SNGX back to 9 and then back to the 940s. That's, you can tell it's shaking all around there on that SNGX. Big thing to look now is a 9 hold. It just clicked on 9. It's going to probably maybe click it one more time here. We'll see if it holds 9 and then wants to make the move. You can see right there, click 9 for just a second there. We'll see if it holds there. I know I'm not going to trade this one right now because it's just asking for me to get upset. And you got to know where your kind of emotional intelligence is on this one. AEHR, nice little pop there. This one actually looking good here today, guys. Pretty strong here. I'm looking for dips now below 15. Dips back below 15. Doesn't look too bad on AEHR. BBPR was one that I was looking at as kind of topping this morning. Still topping right now. Doesn't look the best. Zap, guys. Our short opportunity, guys, is already happening. And right out the gates, leading the downside action here is Zap. So taking a look at this, guys, I think this stock could go back down to kind of $4 eventually. Now I just need a pop to get short. This thing has done it plenty of times, and it's so hard to get that entry. That's the hardest thing. Every time it does this kind of pop short, man, I've seen it reject so fast. And I think a part of that is there's bigger shorts in this. So you have to have the order already out there and then look to probably add to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll put on just to keep it like small. And like if it fills me on a pop, that's all I'm looking for. It's just a starter. I'll put 1338s here. Come back, Zap. Come fill me up here towards 1338s. And then I'll look for the short on Zap. Lucy, not doing too bad. Taking a look at that one, right? We'll see what happens there. Looking at right now, Dell down Clean Spark down, Valero down, Microsoft down. To the upside, you got Longevron, SNGX looking pretty decent still. Longevron is around the 560 spot. Doesn't look too bad there, but just barely hanging in. Hasn't done too much after the belt. DXAI down there to the 270 spot, so definitely trying to stop out some traders there. We'll see what happens on that one. SGNX, how's that one doing now? SNGX broke 9, now recovered 9s at the 940s here, looking to try to pop there, going towards the 10. We'll look to see if that one actually gets up there. SNGX held that 9 pullback, now coming back, kind of wick there towards the 860s, now coming back here. We'll look to see if this gets back there towards 10. Pre-market high towards 1130s, and then yesterday this was all the way up there towards 15. So just to kind of mention that there's still potential reward on this. If I do this one, guys, it's going to be more of a scalp type of look here. But like I said, I've given up 100 on this one already. Got to be careful. Looks like it's strong right now, though. I'll tell you that much. It's just a hard name to get after today, especially after the loss, guys. That's where it gets harder for me. And I've talked about this. It's one of the hard things of trading. Carvana, nice move there to 134. That's actually doing pretty well. Airbnb was one that I had on my radar this morning, so let's take a look at that. Airbnb pulling back now towards 152.70s. Can it make the back move up? We'll see what happens here. Back up through that 153. I'll be watching it. I see right now financial services leading, utilities right behind that, and then communication services. What's in the red? Red is technology, industrials, basic materials. Nice little push higher. Silver, AG was one that we were looking at today to see what would happen to this one. Already getting a nice little move here off that kind of 630 spot. So it's not a bad one to watch for a nice little pullback here. Then for it to start getting going, I don't mind this one here. Off of the VWAP, 644, 640s, looking for this to get back to 650s. The big thing is I have to go a little bit bigger on a name like this, but it's something that I'm looking at right now. 638s is where I see the sizing, so back towards like the 640s, 630s, 640s. Seems to make sense there. We'll look to see if this kind of holds in here and makes a little bit of a move. You can see the 5-minute tried to get back here towards that trend line, now pulling back. Gonna probably try to reload here. Looking for a nice little like 642, 643 entry, and then it comes back up. Seeing some pullbacks out there. VRPX being the top one right now. You guys can see that make the move right there. Right there on this AG, seeing this kind of like 642 seems to stand out to me for me, guys. So this is one that I'm just looking, and that's a silver play, right? Longevron back down to 518s. That's not looking the best there. How's another name that I've been watching to see how it continues? SMCI with a big pullback today. What's up with NVIDIA this morning? Take a look here. NVIDIA back down to 132.80s here. Is the Q's pulling back on us right now? Yeah, it's pulling back below the 500. We'll see if we actually get some downturn. VRPX, top name right now. That's pushing strong. That's up there to 330s there, making a nice little push. Never mind, PDD's a third. That's how it goes, man. Zap breaking down nicely. Yeah, Zap, definitely. All right, guys, looking at this AG here, guys. I might take a shot on this, guys. To do this, I have to go a little bit bigger and then look to kind of expand. So the reason why is that this is not the biggest mover, right? Even on the ATR will tell me that. If I go to the ATR, a lot of times I'll go off the hourly ATR. So you're talking 5 cents right now. So I can risk about that 5 cents here and look for a move back through the 650s. Really looking for the move to come back here towards like 660s, 680s today. Looked like it wants to go to 7. That's what I'd be watching. So let's see if I can get this here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get a starter, then look to kind of build it on any pullback. There you go. Just got a starter there. It's 642s. I got 500 shares. Really trying to get up there. Probably maybe even 2,000 shares on a position like this in silver. Looking around to see if there's any other names that stands out to me, guys. I'll keep running through these names and seeing what I can find. But right now, AEHR being the name that's actually looking pretty decent. Pulled back to the 1550, trying to break the 16 right now. I've seen that one run before. All right, Zap coming back here towards kind of the 12 spot. What is it, 1228? Zappy Zap. Still not coming back to the VWAP though. That's one thing that I'm looking for. I need to push back towards the VWAP. How's Tesla this morning? Up there to the 265, still holding well. So we could still get the little bit of a push and then a fill. I'll look to see if Zap can make a move up, and then I'll look to get shorted. But I'm looking for the pops. TXG continuing down. We've talked about this genomics name, and boy, oh boy, they don't like this name, guys. They don't like it, man. They don't like it one bit. All right, looking at AG here. Let's see if this can start finding some bid support. It has some support towards the 630s, but there's some resistance up there. Looking to see if this can start holding in and making a move back up. All right, GXAI. Let's see if this is the time, guys. I'm looking at GXAI to see if this starts to recover towards the 3 and then really starts to push. This should have been a nice hold up, a kind of buy up spot here. So I'm looking to see what happens with this one if it wants to start making a move back there through 3. GXAI. What's that other one that I was watching yesterday? Tempest AI. This is another one that's on the radar, guys. It's an AI name, recent IPO. A lot of people trying to talk about it. The ratings out there were really impressive, man. Yesterday, they had 4 banks give a buy on this thing. 4. All right, 36.44s. It's back down below 36 right now. Looks actually pretty interesting here. I like it towards 35.50s too, to maybe get a little bit of an entry there. Doesn't look too bad at all right now, especially on pullbacks. TEM, not a bad one to kind of keep an eye out for. Kind of like this one here. It doesn't look bad at all. Tempest AI. Want to see one more dip come back towards his 35.40s and then get the push there through 36.50s on the left-hand side. AMD 179, 180s on the pullback and got up there to the 181s. We'll look to see if AMD continues to take off. With that being said, look for maybe the NVIDIA to start getting hot again. The Qs going through 500. Can it get through there? We'll see what happens here. And it's taking a look there to see what happens on this one. The hourly right now, Siri with the move, guys. Siri making a nice little move up on semiconductor GFS. This one actually looked like a decent setup, guys. Global Foundries. I've never traded this thing in my life, but it is trying to fill this gap here back towards 54, 60s. Looks like it's almost there already. All right, looking around to see what can make the move, but not seeing too much there. VRPX definitely being the top one right now. AEHR is still doing pretty well. We'll see if it breaks 16 and keeps pushing. AG still holding in off the 640s. So now's my chance to go ahead and try to add to this and see what happens. I'm going to keep it really tight and see if it wants to make the move. All right, guys, just added a little bit more there on that AG. Got about 1,000 shares. Looking to get up to like about 2,000 shares and see if this can get up there towards the 670s today. So looking at silver to see if it makes the move. This is an index on silver, so looking at that to see if it's making the move today, and it could still pull back here and then make the next step up, but I'm trying already, getting some good size in here. Seeing that pullback right now. This is where I'm going to start getting just a little bit bigger and then just try to look for the turnaround back through the 650s. What are you guys looking at? You scalped AP, not AG. Walmart having a nice daily. Watch this week. All right, we'll see what happens there. Got some order at 636, 635 for ads. We'll see if I get it. And then I got to hold off the 630s. So got the ads right below it. Let's see if that holds. And then it starts to make the push there back towards the 46. There's a big volume at 630. So that's one thing just to note. Got to know where that is. Know where the big orders are. All right, looking back. Lucy holding that 43. No, Lucy was there yesterday off that 50, looking like it wanted to make the move. Longevron, what's up, man? You pulled back a pretty good amount now. Now you're starting to get that next drive look here. Can it make the move? What do you guys think on Longevron? You guys like this one today? SNGX, how's that one? That's chomping around at the 940s. ANVS. That's down big today, guys. That one broke down back towards the 12s. So this one yesterday started looking a little toppy off that daily. So nice rejection there today. And breaking down big there. So move back towards VWAP is the only way that I could like to short this. So 1355s, not a bad move if it comes back there. Zap, any move back here. Let's see what happens, man. Carvana. GME showing up today. Mara kind of holding in there. We'll see what happens on that. AG still not moving there, guys. So let's see if this starts to move back up here. I'm going to go ahead and take my shot on this one. This is a smaller name, but at least I can just trade this on the side. Keep looking at some other ones. See how it works. AMD, you got that, Noli? Hey, get after it, man. Nice little reward. There you go, 1.5. Take it. All right, added. Now I got AG. I got 1,500 shares, guys. We'll see what happens on that. Trying to see this get back through the 650s today. All right, looking around, guys, not seeing too much movement action, so just kind of watching around here right now. Intel, how's that one doing? It's pulled back there, guys. It's off that 3450s. Had a tough day yesterday, but the trend could keep going. Daily chart still looking pretty decent here. So nice little kind of pullback day, holding right now. Let's see if this wants to take off towards the next layer on the upside. So keeping an eye on this one. Not a bad one to watch here. Did just break back below the VWAP, broke below, recovered it. Now trying to hold this test down. We'll see what happens here on Intel. Doesn't look too bad there, guys. I kind of like this for today, especially if the Qs can stay strong. Remember, I've done a swing trade on this already, so now I can come after it and just kind of ride the daily momentum. AG starting to go into my favorite here. This is where I'm going to go ahead and give another ad there. Boom, just added on that, guys. Still got 642. Looking for this to make the move now. I got 2,000 shares. I could step up to the plate and add some more too. just go for a big win on AG today, but I'm just going to keep it, keep it to where I can manage it a little bit. Snap. Interesting one there. We'll see what happens on that. Intel back to 3450s here, almost getting me my entry. I want to take a look at this one for today, see if it starts to work its way back up. You can see it get back to its 35, so it's about 50 cents to the upside. Definitely had a little bit of a pullback day yesterday. Lucy, you home? Longevron not doing much, man. It did do the pre-market pop, but in the actual market, not doing too much there. LNTH. This one's up at $90 and made a big move this morning, man. What a move. LNTH. Got up there to 100, but ran into a wall. This thing did. There's AG starting to go in my favor. Not looking too bad. Let's see if it pops above the 50s, right? And I got to get at least the 10 cents there. But looking for this to start making the move here. Would like to see it hold pullbacks right towards my entry, 642, 641 now, and start making the move. I'm actually moving some of the limits closer towards the 636, 637 here off the kind of the low action today. I do got some ads still out there available to me, but looking for this to start making the move here. Next spot, 652 that I want to see if it takes. BRPX, just with a big pullback there, back to the 240s. Looking around, guys, I'm still not seeing Zap come back here for far enough for me to kind of take the short. Is there a potential still here? Yes, but I still need this to come back and kind of squeeze out some of the shorts that came in at the open. I'm back to my level at the open, and then I can maybe look for some shorts again. Nicola is going back down. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it, man? This stock had no business being up. Kind of like Hut. All right, we'll see if Hut keeps going lower today. That's definitely struggling there. There's AG now towards 647, so at least not looking too bad on that silver outlook. Volume on the Qs, 500, not breaking there. We'll see. Is this a nice little push kind of day? There's Intel coming back down. Not in this one now, but probably would have jumped in off that 34.45. So right here, I'd be looking to see if it starts to recover. There's that wick. That's the look right now here for Intel. Longevron starting to get some volume in there, guys. So just want to tell you guys that I do see some like kind of that turn starting to come in right here. So keeping an eye on that. I'm seeing this 34.40 is not looking too bad here on Intel. DXAI still trying to come back. Nothing much on that right now. Is Tesla struggling? It pulled back a little bit. I wouldn't say struggling. And the Qs, I'll just put that up so we can keep a watch on this 500. Taking that 500 is so important for some tech names today. All right, let's see in the Qs what's leading the market today. Siri actually not having a bad day there. Google, 192s. Apple pulling back a little bit. TXN. Saw T-Mobile up. Micron, nice move up. There's Intel lower, so that one's off the tape. All right, AG, guys, now getting that spike towards the 50s, guys, up about 200 here, guys. So at this point, what do? You go and you take some gains, man. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take some gains here. Just wanted to get towards the offer here. So it's at 654. There's 653s. Now I can go ahead and sell some up about 11 cents there, guys. Just took the 110 there. Got myself back into the green, even though I was struggling this morning, taking some of the gains there, guys. So not a bad move there. You guys see it. Sold 1,000 shares there of AG already. Silver name. Now I can just let this work and try to really get this to start going to the 670s and higher, right? It could just do a nice little breakout and not come back. Wanted to hold the 9 EMA on pullbacks around the 648s. Let's see if this really wants to take a big run today. Doesn't look too bad at all. And still got my ads still out there. They're not really for fills. They're kind of more to kind of just show some nice bid support here. We'll see what happens on AG. AMD, 9 green bars in 2 minutes. Hey, not a bad one. It is start pushing, man. AMD, not looking too bad there. All right, SMCI is another one that I'm looking at here. It has pulled back here, trying to load up again, guys. This one's one of the hardest ones to judge because it's such a high price name. So just be careful out there, but keeping an eye on SMCI today. Trying to see if it can recover back here. SMCI is like about a $3 risk there. That's the hardest part. You got to be able to give yourself some room. Longevron rejected that move back up towards the 550s. So that's struggling right now. AG now up to the 655. So that's looking great here, guys. Just going to continue to watch that one work for me. Try to make me some money. Tesla starting to cut down now, guys. So just be careful out there. Q's still struggling a little bit. Zap's still struggling. That short opportunity was not a bad look this morning. Down 33%. Nicola. Kava taking a big hit, guys. This has been getting a big hit. Yesterday was down big. Today down big. So restaurants really struggling right now. Let's take a look at there's some other ones that are taking that big of a beating right now. And there's a lot, guys. This is a trend that I definitely got to point at. Missed it this morning, but something that I definitely want to bring up. Look at this, guys. Red Robin's getting hit hard. Even Dutch Bros hit hard. Wingstop hit hard. Shake Shack hit hard. BJ's Restaurant hit hard. So there's a lot of these stocks that are struggling. Cake struggling, right? So that just goes to show me, try to find some that are near the top for shorts. Texas Roadhouse stands out to me clearly right now. We'll see what happens. It's already been struggling this morning. Could bounce a little bit here, but could just keep fading off of this. 165 bounces up, could keep fading here. Texas Roadhouse? Who's going to the Texas Roadhouse? There's a gap here to fill too, right? And so gap fills are always something that I look at. And you can see how this could maybe come back towards the 158 levels. So restaurants struggling there. And what are restaurants in? In the cyclical space. So just keep that in mind. Whereas cyclicals, we've seen footwear kind of struggle there. Of course, auto manufacturing has been holding up this area. Now auto manufacturing could take a pullback day, right? We're seeing pullbacks all around auto manufacturing this morning. Like even names that were making a move like this Velcon, right? I mean, this thing's right back down, man. This thing isn't going anywhere, it seems like. But we'll see what happens out there, guys. Definitely seeing these just come down. So Rivian starting to break down. That doesn't look that great. So that means Tesla. Could today be finally the day for the shorts to come in and kind of win on Tesla, at least for the day, right? Maybe not long term, but maybe for the day. We'll see what happens. I tried this yesterday and I paid the price. We'll see what happens today. AG working well there, guys. AG now up to the 654s and just continuing to grind higher. That's what I want to see. Let's let it keep grinding. All right, Walmart mentioned out there. Let's take a look at Walmart. I'm going to switch back to my other screen, guys. You guys let me know if you guys see any of these smaller names making a move. But you guys see it. Best position right now is this AG up about 125. Looking for this to keep running. And let me know, do you guys like seeing the 4 charts or the 1 chart, right? With different outlooks. I need to know for you guys, because at the end of the day, I do this for you guys to also keep up with some of the action. So let me know, guys, what do you guys like? What do you guys don't like? It's so important. Financial services doing well, of course. Regional banks doing the best right now. So that's actually an interesting name to see up right now. You guys can watch the big caps. That's what I'd watch there. Big caps ones like PNC doing decent. This NU with a nice little break to the upside. And if I look at regional bank action, we've been locked in on kind of Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs for the move. Wisdom, you were talking about this one. I hope you were able to nail it. With Goldman Sachs up there to the 475s, Morgan Stanley up to the 102s. But don't forget, guys, tomorrow we got CPI that's going to come in and shake everything. And what I mean everything, I mean everything. We need to watch to see what's going on in inflation, because that could turn around the market. And that happens at 8:30. So when you come in tomorrow, be ready, because the market's going to be moving fast. I'm going to start up at 8:29 tomorrow to give us a little bit of an advantage, and be ready for when the numbers hit. You guys smash the like. I got you guys. Let's keep trading. Morgan Stanley. Carvana still strong there. What was the one I was looking at a little earlier? AEHR. That's pulling back now, guys. Back down below it, 16. It did break out above 16. Doesn't look too bad today. Holding in this pullback to 1550. We'll see if it can make the move back towards 1650s. Qs overall still going sideways there, so we'll see what happens on that one. Yeah, we'll see what happens on GXAI. I'm keeping an eye on it, Becca. I don't see too much, but it's still on the radar for me. So when it starts to make the move, I'll be watching it. I use 6 5-minute charts on one monitor. Monitor 2 for trading. Qs, SPY on the 2 minutes. Stocks to trade, 2, 5, 15 daily. Monitor 3 is trade the pool. I like it, man. I like it. I'm going to be giving you guys some more insights into my monitors too. I want you guys to be able to see everything too, right? So get ready, guys. There's some big upgrades coming soon. Mitch has been working in the background. He's coming at it, guys. All right, AG now up about 140 there, guys. I'm looking for a little bit more. It's at 657, 670s. I can take the money and run. There's no reason why I have to look for like a huge move. You can see it here. We're getting back up towards this resistance. 663, 670 seems to be an area where it could just pop through and then I could sell through. Let's see if we get it there. I'm not going to be mad about taking some more gains, right? I mean, that's how you got to have to approach it sometimes, guys. So I'm going to do it in 500. I can sell it out in 1,000, but if I get through that 660, I'll take another 500 off and just keep trying to grind it higher. See if we can get the next step up here. AG, where's I see the volume? I see 4,200 at 664. So where's 664? It's 1 cent higher than the resistance. And if you look here, it's pretty much going to be pretty close on that break. So as I get to 660 on the bid, I'm going to mark it out 500. Look to see if I get through that 664, and then look to see if I get to the 668. I can show you that right now, guys. You guys can see that right here. So it's 664, 4,200, then the 668, 99, 9,900 there. Looking to see if it gets through those both layers, and that's where I'll be also taking profits. Pullbacks seem to make sense to the 650s with the volume sitting there. So let's see if this can really start moving. 660 is where I want to take off another 500. There's 658. So here it comes. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can get it there. 663, 664, I think comes on the offer, but I'm just trying to get 660 on the bid here. So I'm going to put it out in just a second here. And then if I see for some reason 59 on the bid, I can also just take that off. There's no reason why I can't take that off. Giving it a second here. As I see that 660, I'll put it out there. All right, 59s, still looking to see that kind of make the little pop. Q is still strong, guys, still strong. So I'm going to look to see if I can catch any of these tech names on that push. Just looking to take some more profits here. Come on, come on. Get on up. Get on up. Come on. Slight tick, 57s. Looking for one more slight tick here. Take the profits, guys. The 58s. Starting to spread out a little bit here, just focusing on it. 655s. You see my orders are out. Also to add, I don't lie. I'll tell you guys how it is, man. That's what it's all about. The 56 is going to be something to go through. Let's see if we can get through that. 57 now. You can see they're just jumping it up a penny. Trying to see one more little run towards like 660, 663, and then it could pull back. I could see that happening. So let's see if I can get that. Joe Motor, VRPX, was one that's moving fast earlier. VRPX. Back down to the 250 spot. This is kind of the reload area. Back to 214 makes more sense for me, but it is trying to reload on the 1 minute back around the 250s. We'll look to see if it makes a next step up there. AG still not making that move towards the 658s. 659. It's really not going to be too much more of money. So I get to this point where I'm just like, I want to run to the profits. You know what I mean? It happens. Bro, this NAAS keeps getting halted. I'll take a look at that one, Dana K. It's difficult, that's for sure. All right, not much happening on this one, but what's happened to me on this one is just be patient. That's what's worked so far. So I'm just continuing to watch to see if I get a little tick up. Not getting much here, guys. So this is where it's starting to take my mental capital, right? There's no reason for it to take my mental capital here. So I'm going to go ahead and just start setting up to take the money and run. All right, pulling back here towards the 652s. So I need to get at least 653s to count this trade, right? So 653s back up there. Going to go ahead and probably just take another portion of this out, take some money. There's no reason why I can't just take the money and run, just give myself a nice $100 cushion. Looking for this to keep working. 650s make sense for pullback ads there. So at this point, I just got to get through it because it's the 10-cent rule. So I need to at least get back to the 52. No trades made yet, Eric. Hey, it's how it is. Right now, it's been a little bit of a shake. This morning, I'm sure we're going to get Jerome Powell to shake things up. So let's be careful out there, traders. All right, at this point where the stock is up to where it's at, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and set a stop loss, right? So I'm going to set the stop loss right at just 1 cent in the green. Well, pretty much 42. So it doesn't really matter. It'll just go ahead and get me out if it doesn't go back down there. Canceling the ads also. The ads are canceled now. Now I can just let the trade work, see if it wants to make that move back up. Not, then we just keep letting this come back and it can stop me break even. Need at least the 53 to take the profits. LGVN, let's go back to that. Let's go taking a look to see if this one wants to make the move. A little part of me is just keeping a close eye on this because I know I'm not the only one. Intel, then we move back up here. Now we're starting to move back up. Now it looks like it wants to make that move. It did try to wash some traders out earlier. So we'll look to see if this starts to make the move. On the 5 minute, you can see a nice little bottoming around the 34.25s. Now it could start working its way back towards 35. We'll see what happens on that one. On semiconductor was strong this morning. Now starting to get a little bit of a bounce back. NVIDIA is now pushing there. 133.80s, not looking too bad. TSM, nice push right back to the upside. Qualcomm is one that we can look to see if maybe it gets strong. ARM, not looking too bad on the day. We'll see what happens there. What's leading the market right now? AMD up to 186. Mitch might have sold it a little bit early. Look at the rocket go, guys. And at least one thing's for certain, I was all over that move. I had 157. So, hey, I'm not going to be mad about that. Look at AMD go 186 now, guys, and pushing. This could be your next NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA doesn't have to stay being the NVIDIA. That's one thing I'll say. SMCI is another one that I've been looking at here, guys. So this is the one I'm going to take a shot now. This one's a hard one to take a shot in, guys. So just be careful out there. The move is fast. It's wicked. I'm going to try to get a little starter here on the pullback and then look for it to really take off here. But the big thing is it's about like a $4 range that I have to take the entry in on this. So sometimes it's as simple as going in it as a very slow trade. I'm going to get a starter right now just to make an entry. Just did 5 shares there. 5 shares even towards the bottom is about a $60 risk. So I'm okay with getting an entry and now looking to try to work this position. Looking for slight pullbacks back towards 882 and 881. $882, $881. There's a nice little push towards the upside. Now I'm just looking for pullbacks to add. This is a hard trade, but I think it could go right back towards 900. So with that being said, I'm just looking for now pullbacks to add. So back into anywhere into this 880. That's where I want to add. I have an add at 882. I have an add at 881. Just looking for pullbacks at least to the VWAP, which is 882.54. Somewhere in this spot, I'm looking for adds. Longs, baby, longs. AEHR. Volume is dying on that one a little bit. You can see it. Longevron trying to turn back towards the 530 spot there. 15-minute, nice little pullback. 5 minutes, just been hanging out here below the VWAP. We'll see what happens with it, but it's hanging out. SNGX, glad I got out of that one, guys. Back down towards that 824, guys. So that one, yeah, it did pop back through my entry, but man, those wicks would have got me and it could have really wrecked me there. So, hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. AG still trying to find those pullback fills up to 650s. We'll look to see what happens on that one. Not looking too bad, at least back in the green on the day. Let's see what happens. SMCI on the pullback. Opportunity here. See if I get some fills on pullbacks. Man, 1,000 shares going through there. 1,000 shares at 886. That's a crazy trade, man. STX. Okay. Bull flag. Yeah, I see the bull flag, man. Holding the 9 too. Recovered the 9 today. So not looking too bad on that STX. Like the pullback towards like 105.20s and then taking the 106. But hey, it doesn't look too bad on that STX. Peaceful Verse. It's good to see you out there, my friend. How's everything going? I hope the account's doing well, man. And like always, keep the battle up. It's not easy. One thing is you saw me today, guys. Open the show, what? A little bit kind of like, man, making a mistake today. Gotta manage. Glad I was able to manage. Get back. Break even. Let's take some trades, baby. Here's SMCI now pulling back here. Can it give me these pullback fills? That's what I'm looking for, guys. Looking for quick dips to get bought. That's literally what it is here. So. All right, guys, have a pretty good amount of orders out there for this to get the fills there. I'm going to switch over to the other screen so you guys can see, of course, the Trade the Pool platform and see how that's working out. But hey, look at this, guys. Look at the ladder. Let's see how this one works out. Ladder's out there, right? Ladder's out there for fills. Just for the time being, I'm going to pull it down to the bottom of this and try to separate it out just visually. Looking for any pullbacks to get filled and looking to see if SMCI can really start moving. It's holding in pretty well there. No pullbacks fills yet. And I'm not going to jump up here and just start adding up at 890s because that's easily how it pulls back to 882s and I get wrecked. So if I only get that entry, hey, that is what it is. I don't always get upset about that. I just wait for the pullback. Zappy zap, trying to come back, not coming back though. That's for sure, right now at least. How's gold doing today? Not looking too bad there, gold. All right, financial services still leading the day today, guys. Utilities not looking too bad. Communications behind that. Technology still in the red. Industrials red. Basic materials red. Defensives red. Energy starting to work its way back. Now that's doing a little bit of a flip there. Basic materials pulling back there. Technology pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens. Cyclicals pulling back for sure. Department stores struggling. Leisure taking a big hit there, guys. We're looking at Airbnb. That's not looking good right now. Yeah, definitely seeing this cyclical area take a hit today. So Tesla shorts actually don't look too bad right now. That's the hard part. You got this support. You broke through. You're trying to recover that to the move back down through the 259s. Let's see if we make an up move and then a potential flush through the 260s today on Tesla. SMCI, looking for this to get the move. It's not making the move though right now. Still slow, man. Q's pulling down. That's the problem with this SMCI trade, is that the Qs keep struggling here, and it's kind of hard to stay in it with the Qs not being able to hold that 500 at all. You can see the 500 looks like it wants to kind of be a rejection area. All right, guys. I am not feeling this SMCI. Maybe it's just a day how it's been, man, and I'm like a little bit back and forth. But instead of pushing it on a day where I'm just not feeling it, I am canceling out there, guys. Got out there for what, $5? Just gonna say, get out, Mitch. You're not feeling it. Get out. Get out. Get out. That's what I need to do sometimes, and it's all good, guys, because at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Noli saying I'm folding them today, guys, leaving it on the sideline. Going to continue to watch to see what happens. The 500 just seems like a spot where the Qs could let go, so I'm just watching it here because look at the Qs trend, right? How much further can we keep this up? I mean, we can, but at some point there's going to be some sweeps down. And I just don't feel like getting caught on that right now. It just doesn't look like a good area for me. AG pulling back to the 649. So I can add to this one, maybe take a bigger swing in this one right back up. So let's see what happens on AG. I do see a lot of like kind of bid support in here. I'm going to go ahead and just cancel my stop loss right now. Look to see where I can have an ad. 5 minutes chart. Boom. This would be the ad spot. Maybe can risk off the 644s. So that's going to be the area where I don't want to see that break. So I'm going to put an ad towards like 646 and 647. I'll do 647. That's right now off the bid. Looking to get filled. And add another 1,000 shares. All right, 1,000 shares there. And I do see a bigger order at 46, and I should have pulled it back there. I was a little slow. Tried to pull it to the 46 because the bigger order was right there. And you can see the bigger order move to the 45 right now. So kind of layering it down. That's what you're seeing happen right there. So at this point, I'm still in the green, and now I just got to go ahead and understand what I'm going to risk. I'm going to risk what? 1 penny. 1 penny, 1 tick, which would be about 25 bucks here. 643, I have the stop set. You guys see it right there. Stop set. I don't lie about it. I tell you guys exactly how it looks. Let's see if this starts to work its way back up. Keeps struggling on that 500. Really struggling there. Lucid trying to hold the 45 cents there. GME pushing strong to 26, guys. That's one thing I'll let you guys know. Can Chewy push to 26 today? I don't know, man. I've been looking at Chewy. It's so hard. I haven't traded it since that day that I took a big haircut in it, but looking at it right now, GME is doing well. What's up with the Chewy? We'll see what happens there. GME popping to 26 now, guys. So GME, I'll put it on the radar. I'm going to put it up here on the right-hand side so you guys can see it. GME pushing strong there. 26.10s now, 26.11s. We'll see what happens on that, but that's a nice little push there. Chewy to the bottom right here. Can Chewy get the move off the 25? I don't know. With GME going up, maybe Chewy's the move. Maybe Chewy here. Let's see the level 2 and the kind of the chart, how that's looking there. A lot of volume in the 25.11s for resistance. So break through that. You can maybe start making the move here. It's not too bad on the risk to return because the push back towards the high is 25.70. The only thing is that you're right off the resistance, right? So you've only gotten through the resistance like pretty much this last run. So it could either reject back below the 25.18 or finally take that 25.18 and start pushing. We'll see what happens there on Chewy. What do you guys think, man? Big dogs must be waiting for something. Yeah, they're waiting for something, that's for sure. I think it has something to do also with the CPI being out tomorrow, right? That can easily be a trend. Feng, FENG, trying to break the $4 spot right now. It's up there, that's for sure. Doesn't look too bad there. The poll is about 63 cents. It's already gone about 59, so maybe just a little bit more. 63 is a push towards 410s. Let's see if it stops around that 410 and then pulls back. Not much going on, man, right now. Still got that AG, guys. Got a 44 as the average. It's back at 48. It's going to look for it to go back to 59, but the 2,000 shares right back on. How's a Fern, man? That thing really kind of crushed me on the swing trade. Still hasn't made a bounce. Here's the Chewy move there for the 25.10 move. Let's see what happens here off the 25. There's some bottoming action that I can go off of here. So I'm going to take the trade since I'm watching it here. Might as well. That's what it goes sometimes, guys. So let me try to get about 100 shares on the first entry, then look for a pullback to add. All right, pull in there, 25.14s, jumped in right quickly. Now 25.05s, 25.03s, 25.07, somewhere in there. I can add risk off the 24.98s. 100 shares long on Chewy. Choo-choo. Is the roaring kitty gonna roar, man? Longevron trying to bottom in around this $5. It hasn't put in a hard bottom yet, but definitely something that I can keep a watch on if the momentum comes back. This is one that the momentum will be watched on, right? So I'm just keeping an eye on this. I haven't been able to really nail one of these, and I feel like this is now a nice little setup here for Longevron. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it here, see if we can get a tiny piece here, then add towards 5. So I'm going to take a tiny piece here and then look for ads towards 5. You can see how it's trying to come back here to that level. The 5-minute can come easily right back towards this 506, 507. Let's let this 5-minute candle close here because the prop is to prop back towards 550s. Doesn't look too bad there. Chewy starting to get the move now back towards 25.19s. Pull back on this. I could add here towards 25.11s. So Chewy, I'm going to put an ad out there, but I don't think it's going to fill for me here on this pullback. All right, putting that out there. Let's go back to Longevron. Longevron just holding in off that 515, 5-minute pattern going to be important here. This 5-minute candle will close at 10:30. So a lot of times around like 10:28, that's going to be the layer that I'll look for to kind of get the move. So it's about 10:27 here. I'm going to look for another minute to open. Then once that 28 starts to close, a lot of times 2 minutes before the 5-minute candle, that's when I start to really look at these. Got to go after it sometimes, man. We'll see what happens. Chewy making a little bit of a push already. Looking for pullbacks to get filled here. Longevron just opened that 27-minute candle. I'm going to let this try to make a down attempt. Once it gets to 28s, those last 2 minutes is where I really look to see stocks get hot off of a 5-minute to 1-minute outlook. Got about 20 seconds left. You need to bring wisdom on this show. I say it all the time, future day trade. Wisdom, where you at, man? They want you. There's Chewy pulling back a little bit here. I'll look to see if I get that pullback fill. All right, here's the 1028s on Longevron. Now is going to be the time where I'm going to take a shot here, guys. I'm going to first start it off with 100 shares just to give myself a starter here. It's 507, 508s. All right, there, starter on, guys. Got to be really careful with this one. I'm going to show you guys it. You guys can see the positions on. Just got to continue to watch it here. Ready to get out on the bottom order box here for me. If I need to get out back through, let's say 490s, I do want to step up to the plate back through 525s. I'm going to step up there about 300 to 400 shares. And once I start to do that, that's when it really starts to get to the point where I got to be careful because, yeah, now you're starting to open up to risk. 100 shares is nothing for me. You can get up to 1,000 shares on this position, but got to be smart with it. Let's see what happens. So now in the 5-minute, right, I want to see this change to a green candle on Longevron. So you can see it here on 15. I'm going to put the 5 at the top and the 1 at the bottom. So it's the same chart, but let's see this change from red to green. That's what I'm looking at. Chewy just got the fill there, guys, back to 24.97. So now just got to establish risk here. Risk for me right now, 24.90s, back through the 24.90s. I'll get out. That's only a $40 loss. Back through the 25.20s, I'm going to add big on Chewy and looking for the push back through it. So taking multiple trades here. Got to be smart. Got to be smart. Let's go. Hey, no worries, Wisdom. It's all good. I enjoy you in the chat, my friend. Here's that tick down towards 5. Let's see if it recovers here. Only about 100 shares, so I'm not really stressing right now. And that's the important thing. If I get big too quickly, that's how I start to stress, right? All right, we'll see if this starts to turn around on the 5-minute and then goes green candle on me. So there's the next candle there. Now we have a red candle. Now I want to see a bullish engulfing candle kind of clear back here towards 550s. That's really the kind of the conviction move. It's a fast move up back towards 550s. My journal says Tuesday and Wednesdays is break-even days this day. Monday, Thursday, win rate of 50%. Tuesday and Wednesday about 35. So maybe take a few days off. Yeah, Noli. One of the things, if you're noting certain days are not like the most statistical good for you, I think one of the things to do there is maybe not take the day off, but maybe just going smaller size on those days, right? Or having the mentality that these are the days that draw me down. So if I can take easy gains early in the day, or like gains actually appear to me, well, that can also be something that I can look into, and I can look to try to take those early gains. All right, Longevron, you guys can see the battles there, guys. We'll see what happens. Blessings to you, Noli, that's for sure. Always supporting you guys. Let's keep it going, guys. You guys know where you're at. We trade every single day here from 9 a.m. Eastern all the way into from 8:30 a.m. Eastern all the way until 11 a.m. Eastern. So check it out, guys. Definitely smash the like. You guys enjoy the action from 8:30 all the way until 11 a.m. Eastern. That's what we're here for, guys. Smash the like out there, guys. A lot of you guys tuning in on X. It's good to see you guys out there on the Twitter live. If you guys don't check out already, check out on our Twitter that you're watching already. Take a look at the playbook. That's something that I've been trying to give you guys every single morning so that you guys can keep up with different strategy plays. And of course, the Sunrise Report, where you guys get all the information right now located in our Discord. But I'm going to get that out on the Twitter so that you guys can go ahead and check that out every morning. Do me a favor. If you guys enjoy any of these, the playbook or the Sunrise Report, just give a retweet out there so that I can know that you guys appreciate me doing the hard work for you guys. And that's the truth, right? Every single morning, if you just look at that Sunrise Report, you'll know what's moving, why it's moving, and in what, 5 minutes? Hey, where else are you going to get that? Trust me, it takes me a lot longer than 5 minutes to set that up for you guys. Playbook's out on Twitter every day, man. Check out that every morning. I put that out. So you guys check that out. It's out there. It was out there this morning too. And I think that's the number one value I can give you guys, right? So, hey, keep getting after it, team. Wish you guys the best. You'll see the playbook. We put it out there and we literally call it today's strategy playbook. So today we put it out about 2 hours ago. Take a look at that, guys. If you guys can do me a favor, when you get a chance, click this link and hit the like button, hit the retweet, guys. It's usually out in the early morning. I think right now, I think it's beginning close to 8 a.m. Try to get it out before 8 a.m. And I'm going to keep trying to do that for you guys so that you guys can get it right at that spot. But pay attention, guys. Not looking too bad. Longevron now starting to turn things around. Now's the time where I can start taking another little bit of an ad. So instead of the 400 ad at 400 ad at 525, I'm going to take one ad here. All right. I kind of misclicked there. Cost myself 5 cents, but that's not a big deal. Have an average there at 515 now, 200 shares. Just trying to see this start to get going. 525 is where this really starts to get hot. Chewy, not looking too bad. Starting to turn back to the upside. Just want to see Chewy get through the 525s, and then I can add on that. So taking some shots here. Now trying to see Longevron go long. Longevron? Here's 520s, guys. Not looking too bad here. Now there's the pop towards 525. So now I'm going to start the ads here on pullbacks. So I'm going to start it about 200 shares and try to get 2 orders in here. So pullbacks back towards 520s at the minimum on the offer. I'm not seeing the pullbacks of 520 just yet. Trying to see slight tick downs. 530s is showing up here. All right, 535 starts showing up here, so it's looking good here. So I could just go up to the 530s. What I'm looking is for quick pullbacks to 520s to add. So if it stays in the green, it stays in the green. Can't be really mad about it. Just let it work. Get stopped out on that AG position right now, guys. So just be careful. I'm getting a little bit of a target towards my AG stop. I'm going to put it down one more penny here, but got to be careful here, guys, because what it is there's an order right below me at 640s, 4,900, and that could stop me out. So I'm going to leave it at right now the 25 stop out. If that stops me out for 25, it's more than fine. All right, back to Longevron. Let's go ahead. Let's focus in, see what we can get here. Looking for a slight pullbacks into the 520s. Here's the 528s, 520s, 528s there. I just jumped on and grabbed a little bit more. Oh, I loved it. I filled my shares changed there, so I only filled one share there. Look at this 401. 401 team. Hey, just got to focus in here, guys. The pullback on Longevron back towards 515s, 516s here. Just got to focus in, know where my out is, right? That's the important thing. That's back through the $5 spot. So like, let's say 490 is going to be that kind of stop there. So I just got to be paying attention to it. Always know what my order is, how many I have. Now back through that 525, 535s, I can add another 200 and really look to see if this goes. Trying to take a shot today, guys. All right, there's the 525 starting to show back up here. So let's see if this really wants to make the move to 530s and then really start to break out here. A lot of resistance up towards the 535 spot. There's 5,200 shares there and a good little tranche of share size that we're seeing there. Here's the 2,000 shares at the 26. Now we're starting to see the 25s, bigger orders flowing through here. I'm going to switch over to my other screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hey, yesterday's trade ID on AMD working well. Yes, thank you. I'd love to see it. Martha jumping in. Is there any videos on hotkeys? We'll take a look at that action. Here's the movement already here, guys. 530s now showing up there. Pull back into the 528s or 529s. I'll keep adding another 200 shares here. Just really want to start seeing this go. Maybe once it gets up towards 6, I can look for slight pullbacks to add some more. You can see right there, rejecting that 35. There's a seller right above it here that we keep running into. And they're trying to reclaim it right now. So it pulled back to that 20 spot, trying to reclaim that spot right now. Let's see if it reclaims it back through that 36, and I'm going to start adding. So that 36 is such a sell right now, so I'm keeping an eye on that. But love the mention there of the AMD trade, and boy, oh boy, is AMD doing well there. We'll see if that can keep going. That thing got up there to 187 today. Longevron now making that push here, 534, 535, looking for that to push. There's the push through the 536. So now I'm going to look for the add. There's the push, 540s, 518s. So I don't know what happened there, guys. Holy moly, I added there, but now I got to be careful. That was a flip, guys. There was a big order that went through there. Something happened, and this could come down fast in a hurry. So I'm giving myself a little bit of room. Got about 180 on the risk here. I did add on that pullback. I got it 600 shares, 515s. What a move. It ran into a seller like none before at 550s. Can it come back to that 550s? That's what I'm looking for here. Got to be careful. Cut through 5, and I'm probably get out of this, guys. This is getting definitely wild on the Longevron here. All right, that's 601 shares here. Just got to be careful. Could get stop hunted here. Canceling out for this time being, but back through 5, and I'm just going to start clicking out. Just got to be careful there. There's the 5 off the bid. Got to watch it here, guys, like a hawk. What a seller there at the 550. So you see here, I was looking for this to close up there at 550. A close of 550, and we would have been looking great on this move. It can make a big breakout. So at this point, I just got to be careful with Longevron. Needs to get back up towards that 550, wherever that seller was at 550. We'll see if we come back and take them out. But for right now, I'm sure a lot of traders got washed out on that break to the upside. Just want to know what you saw on Longevron. It rejected VWAP on multiple occasions. You went long, slightly below it. So this is kind of the rule of 3 rejection from the 5 minute. So I'll show you guys that in a second, Shane. So when the stock comes down, and I can just kind of talk about it as I'm watching it right here. Let's see if it goes back to the level. So down 1, up 1, down 2, up 2, down 3, up 3. And then a lot of times you'll get an attempt towards the support. The support is right at this layer here. Shouldn't see this break at this point. It could tap it, but it shouldn't break and should get back up here towards the resistance. Off that 4th attempt, I'd look for it to break out through that layer, which is that 550 right now. If it gets through that 550, it could give that nice breakout look through this long trend line. We'll see what happens here. Am I jumping it too early? It could be, Shane, and that could be what you're seeing too. So saying that maybe I like it, but I like it above that VWAP, above the 550 for maybe the 6th break, and then the pullback on the 6 doesn't look too bad. Is it the classic shake since that volume? Yeah, that volume is where it gets a little bit dangerous. And that's where you got to kind of be watching, right? The volume was big on that. That could have been a big seller just waiting for the pop to get short. And that's what happens too with these names also, is that you got bigger shorters that take shorts off of these names. And that's where you get those big reactions like on Zap, where the stock went up and it just rejected big. Zap was a short outlook today, and it was an amazing trade. I just didn't take it out the gates, but look at that. That's a, 15% move down today. VRPX, the one that has been moving today. We'll see what happens on that one. AG did cut me out for that $25 loss. We'll see what happens on Longevron right now. I need to go back to it and kind of focus in here. But yeah, that VRPX is one definitely to keep a watch on. GME moving right back up. GME trying to break the 26. Trying to see if Longevron's going to recover that 5. Right now, a little part of me is like, well, manage the risk right now. 600 is a little bit big for it to be back down here and a potential move to 470s, really. All right, guys, trying to see if this can get back up through my entry here. It's struggling here. That was a little bit of a shake up there, just a little bit. All right, 508's trying to recover back. I mean, I almost got the fill ad at like 530s, so that would have been horrible. If I look here, where did I get that second ad there? Yeah, the recent ad was 507, so it could have been a way worse ad on that one. That was a quick move, though. I'll tell you that. Watch that back in slow speed. See that reaction. All right, there's the 509s. Going to give it the chance to take back 525s. That's in a big spot for me. If it doesn't do that on the next pop, like the next big push here, doesn't take back that 525, I'll probably just cut down to a manageable size. So here's the 514 attempt to 515s. I'm like right there. 516 is my average. You in Chew? Yeah, I'm in Chew. You guys can see it here, the bottom right. Let me show you guys that right quick. I'm in Chewy. There's the 25 recoveries in Chewy. That actually looks good there for Chewy. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and set the stop here for Longevron. It looks like it just wants to stop me out here. This is a difficult one, man. It's hard to watch them both. So what I need to do is I need to kind of switch over and kind of take a trade for Chewy. All right, just want to add to Chewy here. If we start to make our way back towards 2520s and 2525s. So I just set 2 stop buys up there if it starts to break out big. Here's Longevron back to 5. It could wash out through that 5. Got to be careful here, guys. Got to be careful here. 5 still holding in. Here's that cut down towards the 490s. There's 485s here, guys. There's 486. Got to be careful. Hands on the trigger here. 84s is going to be that stop there where if it triggers out, it gets me out, guys. 84. Stopping that. Stops place there. If I get stop hunted now, let it go. At that point, it's just like too much risk, right? At that point, I don't want to lose that. So right here could get triggered out. Boom, triggered out. Stop hunted there towards the 80s, 4s, but this could cut right there to the 60s, down hole, and then really wreck me. So, hey, big loss there. 200 on that long Chevron. Took the shot there. Just didn't work out. So let's keep battling today, guys. Chewy going in my favor, though. Could get some stop ads here. Just got another one that triggered off of that. So Chewy's being the one that I'm watching right now. All right, Chewy. Let's see what happens with this one. I got 400, 25.15. Looking to see if Chewy wants to get going. Chewy. Keep grinding that bone. Woo, long Chevron, man. That little shake right there, man, at the 50s. We were in the green. I was decent up. That's how it goes, man. It's difficult to trade those smaller ones. All right, Chewy now towards 25, 24s. Doesn't look too bad. Pullbacks towards my entry. I can add. I got 400 shares, so not looking too bad on that end. Now it starts to get above this kind of trend line. Now I want to see this kind of hold right back. Pullbacks towards the VWAP. Makes sense. 25.20s, 25.14s for ads for me right now. So somewhere in that VWAP area I can add. If not, just keep looking for this to kind of keep working. That's what I'm looking at in Chewy. GameStop going too is not a bad look, right? That 26 pop there. Popped over 26. What's up with AMC? AMC's holding in on this 550. Can AMC make a move? I don't know, man. All right, guys, what else is out there? Smash it up. Bullseye, you're having some card questions there. I'll take a look at that in just a second. All right, guys, in a second, we'll be talking a little bit about global macro trading and what is that conversation. So what is that all about is taking a look more into intermarket analysis. And this is something that I do for you guys every day. If you guys don't know, every day we take a look at what? The sectors and the industries. And that's so important, guys. That's a big way that you guys can go ahead and kind of stay with what's going on in the industries overall and the sectors. So when we catch big moves like that, we can catch moves like this, where we are talking about financials off of this trend line. And then it came all the way back. Earnings coming into play. That was a 3% move. It's nothing monstrous, but there was some stocks that did make a big move off of that bottoming action. That was right off of here for kind of Morgan Stanley. And that's a nice little 15% run into the earnings. So it's so important to understand macroeconomics, right? How that affects, what does the CPI do, right? When, let's say, technology stocks are leading, do we see defensives on the bottom losing money, right? What happens when you start to see, let's say, rate cuts? And what could that do for industrials? Right now, industrials are struggling because I feel like there is no rate cuts. If rate cuts were to happen, industrials could go right back to the upside. So things like this, I think, are so important to kind of focus on, guys. Let's go back to Chewy. I am getting a little bit of a pullback opportunity here for Chewy. So I am going to be adding on this, taking my last shot on the day here, seeing what happens in Chewy. But I'm willing to take the shot, guys. That's for certain. You guys know me. I ain't scared about it. Let's keep going. Let's see if I can get the 25.10s here on the ask, and I'll go ahead on that. There it is. I didn't hesitate. I tried my best there. I got 25.11s on the fill. Not too bad there. And I got 600, 25.14. Let's see if this starts to make the move. Can Chewy make the move to 26 today? Yeah, it's definitely available to me. So that'd be a nice little $600 win if it starts to break out like that. So let's see what happens here. Now 25.18s. This is when I wanted to claim the VWAP and just go here. So at this point, it looks really good. pullbacks I can add. I can even just add up here at 25.19s and look to see if this really starts to make the move. Going to take a shot here in a second. As it starts to go to the 26 and 28s and 30s, I'm going to add. Keep going, guys. Taking some shots. All right, guys, smash the like if you guys enjoy the action. Like always, we're going to keep it going here on Trade the Pool. We'll always be trying to give you guys information so that you guys can stay in the know. And like always, learning from my experiences, win or loss, right? Today, you guys saw an experience in long Chevron, whether it be a good one or a bad one. Take a look at it, right? If I kept in that name, what would have happened? Well, I would have lost big, guys. So you got to know when to cut it. And that's an important thing. Long Chevron, big pullback there. Got to know when to cut it. We'll see if it recovers later in the day. That's just how it goes, right? Chewy now starting to go into my favorite. Let's see if this one gets a little bit of a pop here to 25.30s. Then I can add one more time and really go for the swing back up towards this high. 25, what is it? 25.70. Yeah, 25.70. And then really going for the 26 move, right? A break back up towards 26 is what I'm looking at. On the daily chart, you can easily see that to 26.05, 26.50s. So that's kind of the layer that I could see here happening. Let's see what happens, right? Just trying to reclaim that VWAP. And at this point, I'd want it to hold VWAP. I'm in NVIDIA, and indeed starting to look good. Yeah, let's take a look at NVIDIA. Martha, not a bad one that we were watching at, and we talked about potentially new highs coming in for NVIDIA. It's pushing 134.46. Could get right back up towards its 140. AMD is also getting a big push up, and some of these tech names are still staying strong. Qs, though, is one thing to keep an eye out for, because this could ruin the party, guys. Qs keep fighting this 500, not being able to hold 500 today. So if you see big downsides come in, it's probably a turn off that 500, and I keep seeing it, guys. Keep seeing it. All right, Tesla's back into the short range for me today, so I'm going to take one more trade on this one, guys. Reason why is that the Qs keep struggling. I missed this one yesterday. Want to take one more shot at it today. I'm going to get a starter here and then look to add at the VWAP, which is 261.75. Still low. Still low in size there. I need to get a little bit more. Looking for the pop to 261, but it could just fade off of this. Was looking at these layers before, right? I was looking for that move to come back here and then fade off of it, but I'm going to give it to the VWAP. The pop to the VWAP is really that layer where I could get after it. Paid the price yesterday on that one. Chewy, there's up there towards 25.23s. Now starting to try to make that move towards the 25.30s. If I want to take the shot on it, pullbacks right here. This is the thing to do it. Let's see it. Chewy. There's a pullback for Chewy. Carolyn, what's up out there? Love to see you guys in the chat. That's what it's all about, man. Definitely smash the like. Good amount of you guys on Twitter too. Good to see you guys out there. And don't forget, you guys can always come in also on the YouTube side of things. Throw in chat comments, throw in stocks you're looking at. I'll take a look at it. For you traders out there on X, don't forget that that's available to you. Back towards this 25.17, still not getting that big breakout attempt here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stop buy here. And I'll show you guys how you guys can be trading right off your kind of literally right on your mouse, right? So right now you guys can take a look at this. I'll show you guys it. Let me share my other screen here so you guys can see it. So there you guys have it right here. So you see on Chewy, what I'm going to do here is I have the 100, right? So I'm going to change this to 200. And I'm going to set it up here for kind of the entry for a stop. So what's a stop? A stop buy, right? It's just going to get me filled there and kind of get me to start to push, right? But the key is make sure that you de-click the mouse trading so you don't make a mistake right after you already set this. So for me, it's a pop back towards, let's say this 31. I'll add there. We'll see what happens here. On Chewy, can it start making the move? Holding 25s on pullbacks. Definitely don't want to see that break down, and wouldn't want to see it break through this kind of trend line again. That'd be the breakdown of 25. So let's see what happens here. And one more that I wanted to take a look at is Tesla. Tesla's up there to 261 here. This is the layer for me to take the shot on. We'll see what happens on Tesla. Can the Qs reverse and go back through the 500, or will it start to break down here? That's what I'm pretty much betting on. 30. All right, guys, just took 30 shares there of Tesla, willing to add another 30 and then hold towards a risk there today. Taking a shot, guys. That's one thing I don't shy away from. We'll see what happens here on Tesla towards the back down levels here, and can add towards it towards, let's say, 260, 262.80s. That's going to be the kind of the area to add for me. We'll see what happens if this starts to break down. All right, Chewy. Let's see what happens on that one. It is pulling back pretty fast here. We'll look to see if it comes back up, starts making the move. GME up there to 26.14. Can that get back to 26.40s? We'll see what happens there. Left click to buy, right click to sell. You know it. Future Day Traded says, I love that feature. That's what it's all about, man. And drag, stop, target. Yeah, man, there's a lot. There's a lot, Noli. You might have to come on and teach me a little bit about that. Eric, still no trades? That's okay, man. Give yourself a pat on the back, dude. On the real. I know it sounds dumb, man, but as sometimes traders, when we do something that we look back on and want to be proud of, it sounds dumb, but give yourself the pat on the back, man. Be like, that's how we do it, man. That's how we do it. Good shit. That's what I'm talking about. Good. You know it, man. Get after it, man. That's how you do it, Eric. All right, GameStop making that move. Chewy trying to stop me out here. I'll tell you that much. Trying to test me. Tesla, I'm not touching it right now. Just going to stick with Chewy because that's the trade. Got 600 shares there. Chewy trying to stop me out, trigger me right here. Close to getting me out, guys. Hands on the trigger, that's for sure. Back to that 2480s, and I'm out of here, guys. Trying to trigger a stop right now. Definitely triggered some stops there at 25. That's why it goes to like 2480s. Another thing there, right, is that, you know, hey, Jeff, where to get that SMCI? I kept being a little bit afraid of it. I hope someone ever was able to nail that. SMCI is still hanging out there. That was part of the playbook this week. Earlier, I was looking for a run through the 900s. Can this go back through that 9? We'll see what happens there, Jeff. Good to see you. That's how you live to trade another day. Yes, live to trade another day. That's for sure. But definitely those stops being triggered there on Chewy of the 25s. I'm looking to see if they recover back through that layer. Not looking to see the 2480s. That will definitely get me the heck out of this. Tesla starting to go in the green there for me. So Tesla's looking good there, guys. I'm going to take the shot on Tesla now. I'm going to add another 10 here and then look for it to come back up. Add another 10. All right, just added 10 right around my entry here for Tesla. So you guys can see it always. I give you guys the position lines, right? There it goes, starting to cut there. Now I'm looking a little bit better there for Tesla. I'm taking a shot here today, guys. I think Tesla can get it back here for me. So just added another shares there. Got about 60 shares there at Tesla. Going back to Chewy, just going to go ahead and set the stop there on Chewy. At this point, a lot of times when I get to this 2 trades, just focusing in, I got to manage the loser. That's the biggest, most important thing. Set the stop there. It'll be a big hit there if it hits me, but I just put it at the 79, trying to give myself the room for it to work here. We'll see what happens on Chewy. Tesla, will the dragon get me again? It got me yesterday. We'll see what happens on the Qs overall. The Qs look like they're struggling here at the 499, but a recovery of 500 today. And you know, yeah, you get the hell out while the getting's good. But the Qs definitely struggling up at that 500 multiple times today. I can show you guys that action here. Let's put it up and I'll make it pretty big so you guys can see it. You can see how it's struggling there. Kind of put in that head and shoulders look. Now it looks like it's trying to break down. So that's why I'm taking the shot also. And if you take a look at the daily, You can see how we've been just really extended on the Qs here. Haven't pulled back in a while now. And now starting to put in some like kind of these smaller red candles by an important whole dollar, right? The 500 spot could do a little bit of a pullback off of that. We'll see what happens there. SPY overall also has an important level right above it, starting to slow down too. So we'll see what happens on that action. And that could put a damper in the AMD run, right? It went to 186, but now it's pulling back. We'll look to see if AMD can catch some dip buyers. I think you'll definitely find some. Here's Chewy going for the stop out for me. Really close. There's the stop out. Boom. Just got triggered on that one. So, oof. Big loss on that one, guys. It's going to be a hurtful type of day there on that Chewy move. Chewy, big wipeout back towards 2470. So, got to hit this stop out there. Boom. So, it doesn't trigger when it comes back. Tried to get after it. You guys saw it here. Tried to get after it. And then, boom. The takedown right there on Chewy. So, hey. It's how it goes, guys. I've tried to get Chewy multiple times. That didn't work out for me. Tesla's going to be my kind of savior today if it comes back here and keeps coming down. We'll see what happens on that one. Definitely can't risk on that one too much. At least I got like 65 in the green right now. I'm going to look to continue to work this. We'll see what happens with this one on Tesla to see if it breaks down or not. If it breaks down, it could be a bigger move. So I'll just let it kind of work here, put a stop in a second, and just keep coming after it, man. It's good to see you guys out there. Yes, and SMCI is one of the hardest trades out there, but we'll keep getting after it, guys. Not a great day for me, guys. Definitely taking a major hit. And like always, guys, what am I going to do? Bounce back, guys. I had a great week last week. This week, struggling a little bit. Have had a okay Monday, struggling Tuesday, struggling Wednesday. Let's see if we can get back into it on Thursday and keep battling, team. I'll see you guys bright and early. Like always, guys can follow along with me. Keep up with me, guys. Money Mitch at TTP. That's on Twitter or X, whichever way you like to call it. And like always, you guys watching right now on Twitter and X, do me the favor, guys. Get out of the video right now. Hit the like, hit the retweet. Let everybody know this is a community that truly will support you. I will see you guys back in the morning. Hit the like button. Like always, team, there's only one way. Sometimes you got to battle a little bit. We'll see if Tesla keeps falling to the floor and maybe gets me back my gains on the day. Even if I could get back, let's say, down $100 like I did yesterday, I'll take that. Down $100 and keep moving along. Trading is a lot of times just dealing with the punches and waiting for you to do some swinging back. The only question is, will I get some swing on tomorrow? Find out. Tune in. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.